the final quarterfinal matchup it's going to be happening in just mere moments. It's Henry, it's Joke, and this is going to be a rematch from the Madden Classic. And for our final Madden tournament, we welcome in Scott Cole and RG. Scott, I can't believe those words coming out of my mouth.
I'm old, James.
Your
I'm
last
old.
tournament, man. Come on.
I'm an old man, but we got a good one coming up. I appreciate it, gentlemen. RG, you got, this could be a final. I know I say that cliche all the time, but you got Henry, who's the young phenom, and then you got Joke, who's continually searching for that final belt.
You know these guys are the elite of the elite because only 3 players this entire MCS season had made it to every possible event, and 2 out of those 3 guys are up there on the stage right now in Young Henry and EMB Joke. This is cream of the crop type Madden players. There's no trying to qualify for Madden Ball here. Both of these guys are locked in. This is all about the glory and chasing that championship belt. Both of them, it would be their first belt if they could pull it off.
Top 3 offense against a top 2 defense, and there is Henry, 16 years old. He's from Chicago. Let's just be honest with each other. He's from Chi-Town, and he's starting to really not only rack up the wins, but rack up the money as well.
Yeah, it's insane that in his first year of competing, he's already $40,000 up and has made every live event. Talk about Rookie of the Year, it's Henry.
Got that Baltimore playbook. You can see some of the notable draft picks. And on the other side, you got Joke, the man from West New York, New Jersey. I still can't say it because it doesn't exist.
Joke, this is an important matchup for him. You got to remember, Henry knocked him out of the Madden Classic. They had that heated rivalry game. They were capping back and forth. Joke got a little bit of revenge, sending Henry to the loser's bracket. But you know what? You're looking at Joke's squad right there. You got that Denver Broncos playbook. That was a huge playbook for him. Both of these guys have Marquise Brown at 95 speed, and Joke was thrilled when he had Dalvin Cook because he likes to keep the ball on the ground. He has the #1 rushing attack in the entire field. So let's see if Henry could bottle him up.
Madden game 541 for me, RG. And I think you've been around for about 400 and something of those. So let's kick it off. Henry's gonna send it away here at Pizza Hut Stadium. It'll be Joke taking it from his own 14 with Dalvin Cook. Spins back to the inside, and the drive will start at his own 28-yard line.
This is a game of serious defensive players. You're looking at the MCS points there, and I'm getting word that these guys are actually going to be competing to see who's going to have that #1 seed when we do get to the Madden Ball. That could come into factor later on. That'll determine, some of your matchups in the Madden Ball. And
being that #1 seed would be key. And of course, Joke, it's like, young man, you still got time to win a belt. I need it right now. I don't think Henry's going to give way, though.
I asked both of these players, what's more important to you? Is it the money or the belt coming into this event? And both of these guys were firm on saying it is about the belt at this point. Henry said he never thought he would say that, but after being so close to winning one of those belts, 1 game away against Serious Mo, he realized how much it truly does mean to him, and the fact that he has a chance to get one in his first year being eligible to competition is something he wants to accomplish. And Joke, we know it's been about a 4 or 5 year journey for him chasing this belt. He's been so close so many times, and here he is in that same situation once again with the phenom in front of him.
7 top 10s for Joke. He's been in the finals a few times. And for Henry, he's like, I just got here, but I'm not going anywhere.
See Joke in bottom right of your screen. He's rocking that Elite Madden gear. That's his website where him and his guys give you tips and tricks and let you get kind of inside of their minds. Go and check that out at some point.
And there's Saquon Barkley off to the races. And they won't get him. Touchdown, Joke. He strikes first.
And this is what we were expecting from Joke. We've seen Noah's run game kind of, be the talk of the tournament, but don't forget about Joke. This was the guy that was #1 in running the ball coming into this Madden Challenge. He's been dominant. He doesn't turn the ball over. And to start the game off with a big run like that, and Saquon Barkley trying to get your way to the semifinals against Henry, That's how you do it. How will the young phenom respond?
2 plays, and then this 72-yard run by Saquon.
See him, he's on his horse, and he's doing the little scum that I don't like right there, Scott. To switch the ball hand, switch the ball hand. They think it gives him a little extra speed boost. I don't like how it looks, but hey, whatever works for you. There's big money on the line. Whatever's gonna get you to the guap.
We were talking about this while the guys were at the desk. I'm a huge Bears fan. You're a huge Pats fan. We're here on our final day, and how about it?
What a coincidence, huh?
Bears and Pats going at it, and Henry's going to get it for the first time. I know Mama Henry's out there rooting for a boy. And Joke's got his fanfare still hanging out in the Players' Lounge.
Got his best friend, little man, that he travels with him, does Joke, and Henry's got Mama Henry in the back supporting him. I love how during Henry's winter interview, he said, you know what, I got a text from my mom in the back. She said, I got to give some thanks to God for a lot of this success. And that just shows what type of family they are, how mature Henry is. Win or lose, I'm sure she's very proud of him.
And down goes Murray. It's going to be a loss of 7 on the sack. Going to bring up a 2nd and 17.
Yeah, Henry, he's a passer. He's not really looking to run the ball. He's got the number 4 pass offense in this entire field of 16 competitors. And, you know, Hollywood Brown's been the guy getting big plays for him.
Murray will slide down at the 32, so he gets those 7 yards back and makes it a 3rd and 10.
I was anticipating what was going to happen when Henry was on offense, and you figure he's been hitting those big plays to Hollywood Brown over and over again. You got to assume Joke, being the number 2 defensive player statistically in the field, is going to take that away. So you got to expect Henry to get guys like Largent and Dante Hall involved, checking underneath, getting those yards after the catch. But don't be surprised if he does sneak in one of those deep balls to Hollywood at some point.
3rd down here for Henry. Fires, it's low, Steve Largent. That's why he's one of the greatest receivers of all time. Had the record for yards before Jerry Rice broke it.
His statistical machine over here, the Coltrane. And Largent, he's going to be one of those guys. He's not going to destroy you with his speed, but he's going to be able to hold on to that rock in traffic. That's what he did for Henry right there on that big 3rd down.
So trailing by a touchdown, but this is his opening possession after Joke ripped off a 72-yard run with Saquon. And this Baltimore playbook, especially with the clear out, can be a real problem. Can't sleep on it. And there's Steve Largent again.
Yeah.
Cross midfield to the 44.
That's what I was talking about, Scott. If you're Henry, this is what you're going to have to do. Joke's going to put a lot of attention on that Hollywood Brown, especially when you send him in motion. That should open up lanes for Largent. Maybe some Dante Hall underneath. He's also got Casper at tight end, who's one of the better tight ends. He can move around with Kyler Murray. But Joke's going to play a bend but don't break defense.
And Kyler with a spin move, and Henry's out. And he swerves it back inside, and the young man is in the end zone.
Right, well, we're talking bend but don't break. Kyler Murray says, I'll break you in half, gets a little CA spin, gets to the outside, ties up this ball game. And now let's see if the run defense of Henry could bottle up this run game of Joke that's been so dominant all challenge long.
That's a high risk, high reward, spinning around with your quarterback there in the secondary, but this is how he got it done.
That's actually one of the CA spins, Scott. If you have high agility, you see a whoopsie and you run into one of your linemen, sometimes they'll give you that contextual awareness animation that automatically spins you off of that lineman, gets you into the open field, and that's what Henry got right there. That's why he said, give me my spin. He got a very fortunate contextual awareness animation right there when he ran into his lineman.
Saquon back to the ground. Picks up 4, gonna be a 2nd and 6. How about this for 2 guys going at it? Little Henry, little Joke, just in the quarterfinals.
I mean, we wouldn't expect anything less, right, between these 2 guys. These are 2 of the best players in the world, legit. I know we say that a lot, but statistically right now they're 1 and 2 in those MCS points, so you could consider them the 2 best players in the world as of right now. And here they are trying to advance to the semifinals of that Madden Challenge in pursuit of their first championship belt, which means so much to these guys, even more so than that $35,000 first place prize.
1:05 to go on the first. We've already seen 2 touchdowns, both on the ground. And Murray's going to be sacked up. It's going to be Bradley Chubb getting in there.
Kind of heard Joke talk to himself, Scott. He said, I had a touchdown. It looked like the flanker receiver was going to get wide open over the top, but the pressure gets there. And if you're Joke, 2nd and 16, this is not where you want to be. Your offense is not built. He's actually ranked 16th in passing offense out of everybody in this field. So he's clearly looking to keep this ball on the ground.
And Saquon pinballing his way to the 50-yard line. It's going to be a first down. He's already over the century mark.
That's a little bit of a stress relief if you're Joke. 2nd and 16, and then you're able to just run, dive to get the first down right back. That's what he needed.
So at the end of one, between Henry and Joke, we are tied at 7 apiece. Just 15 minutes left into this one to find out who is going to be moving on to the semifinal. We will crown a champion today, pass out the belt for the 17th time since Madden 16, the very first one right here in San Francisco, down at the Mosaic. They're in Super Bowl 50.
It's a nice venue. I remember that. Is that where you?
I got a story.
Yeah.
I got a story. We'll wait to see how the game proceeds. Got a couple more games left to put a couple more Madden stories out there that have never been heard.
Something that's a funny coincidence. How about both of these guys with Kyler Murray at quarterback? I believe just won the Offensive Rookie of the Year award today. How's that for a coincidence?
Back to Saquon. This time he's stopped with just a gain of a few, so we got a 3rd and 5 incoming at the ball at the 44-yard line.
It's awkward territory if you're a runner. You know, part of you wants to go to the air, but you know it's likely 2-down territory. Part of you really does want to run the rock. It looks like Joke's going to look for Hollywood Brown on this streak.
Able to pick up the blitz, goes up top, and it's a touchdown for Joke. Just a step past Dunbar, and he regains the lead.
And that's that Hollywood Brown, Scott. He doesn't have all the route running. He doesn't have all the catch in traffic or catch ratings, but what he does have is that 95 speed, the fastest wide receiver in mud draft. Joke gets him one-on-one on the outside. Henry focused on the run and press coverage, and Joke lets a laser rip to go and reclaim his lead back up 14-7. Very well played by Rydell Brito, AKA Joke.
Well, you don't need great route running when all it is the 9 route. Just go.
Just go, baby. I'm going to launch it. Ooh.
Derwin, I don't care if he's on conservative.
Big hit coming in from Derwin James.
Derwin.
What Joke's saying, I don't care if he's on conservative. Conservative is a coaching adjustment. You can set up the play call screen that's going to disable all your ball carrier moves, so you can't spin, you can't juke. Literally, if you press the button, it won't work, but it significantly lowers your fumble chance.
And he knows this was in the coverage, and Allen is there to pick it off.
Man. Come on. Don't make me fumble like the classic.
And Joke, he is number 2 in pass defense. And right there, he just baited Henry. And that's humongous because not only does he get the turnover, he gets the turnover in Henry territory, well already having a lead, Scott. So one has to think Joke's going to at least be able to make this 2 possessions.
Still outside of field goal range here on a 2nd and 7. 2:52 to go in the half. Up by a touchdown over Henry, it's Joke. Got Saquon. He will dot the I with Cook at fullback. Gets a block but can't get outside. Would have been one man to beat if he could have got free.
If you're Henry, you'll take a tackle for loss. trying to knock Joke out of this field goal range. Joke's going to take this to the 2-minute warning.
It's going to be the 11th play of the game coming up offensively for Joke. 8 of those have been on the ground.
He's a runner. I mean, he's really just been focusing his craft on running the ball. He's #1 in rushing yards per game, rushing attempts per game. And this is the game plan he's committed to.
This is going to be a maximum field goal here. It is up, and it is just over the bar. That's enough to make it a 2-score game.
Let's not look how perfect Joke kicked that. He got full power and perfect accuracy, what she needed to likely hit that long field goal. I mean, we call these guys Madden pros for a reason, and part of it is because they do all those little things very well, especially, you know, knocking down those long field goals.
That was a 55-yarder. And that's the longest we've seen so far in the tournament. Murray to the outside, and Dante steps out of bounds at the 38. Here comes a 2nd and 3. Desperately needs a score, even a field goal here.
And if you're Joke, Scott, you'll give up those little dump downs. Oh, big sack. You'll give up those dump downs to Dante Hall and Largent. The key is clicking on and making the tackle after that catch. You can't let those 3 or 4 yard gains turn into 15, 20-yard gains because you miss a tackle. Joke had a big tackle followed by a sack, and now he has Henry 3rd and 9.
Murray in the pocket. Steps up and throws. The galloping ghost hauls it in at the 47-yard line. 2 timeouts remaining. Clock on the move.
Caspa, James Coe's former boss, as he told us that story yesterday, and Hall of Famer, and probably the best tight end in the entire mode.
I think when they're running highlights on NFL films, that James Coe does not even show up. I think it's the other accolades first. But for us, he's Jimmy Coe's boss. 30 seconds ago, great job getting out of bounds, preserving those 2 timeouts.
You see right now on the play call screen, Dante Hall extremely tired for Henry. So Henry taking his time to pick that play, letting his receiver get some breath. Yes, if you wait at the play call screen, it allows your players to rejuvenate some energy, and that's what Henry did there.
And it's picked up by Devin Bush. One of the fastest linebackers in the game. Closes down and makes the play.
Joke is just throwing out the bait, and Henry is biting on it. 2 user lurks from the #2 defensive player in the field. He's got all the momentum right now.
Hands it off. And a rare base player sighting.
You don't see those guys.
And I'm not talking
there.
about slapping the base.
We're not talking guitar.
And I think he just wanted to take this to halftime, but he's going to use a timeout here.
You want one last run, try to break it to the crib. If you're Henry, you're in goal line. You got to be careful here. If he gets to that 2nd level, he could be outie.
Not using Saquon here. Back to Geis one more time. See if he takes it to halftime, and he will. He's satisfied with a 10-point lead here at the half. It's Joke 17, Henry 7 here at the half. James?
Thank you, Scott. All right, fellas, be sure to tune in to ESPN2 on Sunday, February 9th at noon for a fast-paced 1-hour special devoted to the Madden NFL 20 Challenge. The show will be jam-packed with the most memorable moments, exclusive interviews, and behind-the-scenes access. That's Sunday, February 9th at noon Eastern on ESPN2. All right, let's get it back to Scott Cole and RG.
Thank you, James. Good first half if you're a Joke fan. Plenty of time left if you're rooting for Henry.
I agree completely, Scott. You're down 10 points, which isn't cool, but you have an explosive offense with your passing attack if you're Henry. You're getting the ball to start the 2nd half. And you don't even need a touchdown on this drive, Scott. Even a field goal to make it 1 possession, put some pressure back on Joke, would get you into a good spot, especially after throwing 2 interceptions if you're the young hen dog. What you can't do right now is not getting any points.
Kyler Murray, a little hesitation. It'll get outside to the 47. That's across midfield. Big play on the first play of the second half.
That's humongous, Scott. It gets him close to field goal range, and more importantly, he's doing it in a hurry. Because remember, Joke's offense just drains the clock. When you got that run-first type of offense, you really control the game and limit your opponent's possessions. So for Henry to open up this half 8 seconds in and be about 10, 15 yards away from field goal range to make this one possession, that's a big deal. It's the type of things he needs to do if he's going to want to get back into this one.
Motions out Brown. Murray trying to find the pocket and can't get out of there. It's going to be a sack by McCain. That'll be his second, and it's going to be a loss of 3.
I know he took a sack right there, Henry did, but the way he's moving around with Murray, trying to buy time, not forcing it down the field right there. This young man's known for having some of the best pocket presence amongst his peers in the entire community, and even though he got sacked, some of it was on display right there because he did buy himself a decent amount of time. Everything was just bottled up.
Quick throw. Caught by Hollywood at the 36. It's going to be a first down. Just a minute gone by here in the second half.
Henry already in field goal range, too. Now you have to protect this football.
And a big hit from James.
It's a quarterback.
Joke just needs to know that's not coming, bro.
The thing is, if Joke lands that hit stick user, it's going to significantly increase the chance to cause that fumble. Getting those hit sticks from the AI can cause a fumble, but it's going to be nowhere close, that fumble chance, than if you do it yourself. Joke needs to do is try to land one of those user hit sticks. Easier said than done, though, especially with the agile Kyler Murray running around.
Murray once again, 3-man rush. He does click in. Smartly done by Joke, and there's Bush to wrap him up. We're going to have a 3rd and 9 incoming.
And when Scott says he does click in, what that is the spy crash mechanic. If you click in the right stick mid-play, it's going to take your QB spy or the closest defender to the quarterback and tell him, hey, just go after that quarterback. That's what Joke did and was rewarded with a sack.
There's the heat, and it pushes him out of field goal range.
Oh, no, Scott. The one thing Henry couldn't allow happen, he allows to happen. Joke dials it up at the perfect time. Now he's forcing Hendog to go for it on 4th down.
Ball at the 40. Needs to get to the 26 after the big sack. Hall once again, watch out for Brown. And he's going to run with it. Maybe the hesitation cost him.
Oh,
there was no way he was getting 14 there.
I don't know what happened right there. Young Henry, just a bad sequence of downs. He knows it. He knows it. He is a smart player. You cannot allow the sack on 3rd down. On 4th down, you don't even get the ball in the air. You kind of do a throwaway run with Kyler. And this is what we talked about, Scott. The thing that's so critical is Joke is just going to run this ball and continue to milk this clock. Worst case scenario, even if he doesn't pick up a 1st down and 3 downs, he's going to be able to take 2 minutes off the clock with this 40-second play clock.
10 carries for 115. That's math I can do. That's 11.5 a carry for Saquon. And we're going to see a lot of 26 here the rest of the way for Joke.
Let's see how stingy he gets with this play clock. You see it at about 10 seconds right now. If you Joke, you really shouldn't be snapping it until it's way down. See, he snapped it at 10 seconds. In this situation, you really want to let that go all the way down. Really limit Henry's possessions. He could have pretty much been close to taking this to the 4th quarter, but he knows what he's doing up there.
3rd and 5. Coming up on a minute to go in the 3rd. Scott Cole and RG along with you here from San Francisco. We'll be passing out a belt here a few hours from now, and that's thrown into coverage. Clock will stop, 57 seconds, and he's going to have to get his boot out.
That's bad by me.
Yeah, you hear Joke. He says, that's bad by me, and he knows he did not manage that situation very well. He should have been pretty much taking it into the 4th quarter by the end of that possession. Worst case scenario, punt it. Henry has no much time. Now he had a punt anyway. and Henry gets the ball with 52 seconds in the third quarter. That was mismanaged right there from Joke. Let's see if it comes back to bite him later on.
Good punt. He's able to flip the field at least. And now Henry with another chance. Going up top. He says he's got him. And no. Brown trying to make a one-handed grab. That ball hung up there forever.
And Hollywood Brown, he can burn him, but you see him tries a one-hand catch. He's not going to be able to make a ton of those. And Henry's been relying on that throughout this tournament. Not reliant, but a lot of his big plays have come from Hollywood Brown getting those long touchdowns, not having to put long drives together. And when you can't get that happen, and it's frustrating.
Murray once again, little patience, works his way out to the 42. 9 carries for 122 for Murray.
What's critical, Scott, is he has it on conservative coaching adjustment like we said, but he's also holding that RB button to cover the ball when he runs with Kyler Murray. So Henry doing everything he can to make that fumble chance as low as possible when he runs with that quarterback.
Finds Dante Hall, but can't stay on his feet. Even lost a yard. Let's call it 2nd and 10 and a half. And that'll take us to the fourth quarter. 17-7 as we head to the final 5 minutes in this one. It's the fourth quarter presented by Snickers.
I dig because suddenly people think it's okay to talk on speakerphone in public.
What was that?
Oh, nothing. Just some lady digging a giant hole.
Well, Henry's digging a huge hole while little man really enjoying his buddy Joke up 10 with just 5 minutes to go. Would love to see his friend Joke get his first belt.
That's not just his friend, that's his best friend, Scott. They're friends in the Madden world, they're friends in real life. And trust me, Joke wants that belt bad, but they're such good friends. Little man probably wants Joke to win that belt as much as Joke wants it. He's there to support. And these are guys that have been around for a long time, since before the MCS era. So for them to be doing it as long as they have been on such a high level just speaks to the type of Madden players they are. Two legends in the community.
Henry getting vertical, picks up the first down. Cross midfield at the 43. And Murray steps out to 37. So we got a 17-7 ball game. You get down here and you get a score, especially if it's quickly. Really, you put some pressure on Joe.
If you're Henry right now, you're still very much in this ball game. You have all 3 timeouts. Back in field goal range, and it takes another sack. He needs to stop doing this, Scott. He's having every opportunity to make this a one-possession ball game, but he just keeps taking sacks when he can't allow it.
Bunch to the right, 3rd and 12. Murray, quick throw, and Dante somehow still has the football at the 32. It's a first down.
Big play by the Hen Dog. Gets himself back in field goal range, picks up the first down. Joke laid a wonderful user hit stick, but it wasn't enough.
And a rare run to Christian McCaffrey. That's the first time he's touched the ball.
This is back and forth, back and forth. Henry will not go away. Relentless in his attack to stay into this ball game.
And gonna get sacked once again. And RG, you got to do something before the 2-minute warning. It's got to be a 3. If you can get in the end zone, that's great, but you got to somehow put pressure on before the 2.
That's a good point. Well, on 3rd and 7, this may dictate a lot of that, Scott.
Murray. And he's going to be sacked up, and that's right around the danger zone for the field goal. He's going to rush the field goal unit out. Kick is up, and it is good. So we got a 1-score game, 2:24 to go. He's got all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning.
Tony, I'm going to go out of bounds because of you, Tony.
Joke shouting out
Straight out of bounds, Tony.
his guy, young Tony. And the reason he's doing that, he says, I'm not risking a fumble right here. I am going to run out of bounds. I'm not even going to think about getting hit sticked on this return.
We've seen that happen even all the way back to Madden 18 in this very challenge when Drini laid a couple hit sticks on Kiv.
Joke's had special teams bite him in the butt in big games before. You remember against Problem in that Final Four, Madden 17.
And when you're playing for the guap, take all the variables out that you can.
For sure.
Especially when you got the lead.
I would have liked to see Henry use his timeout right there before the 2-minute warning. He could have saved himself about 15 seconds. But nonetheless, it's going to come down to, can Henry lock up or can Joke convert a first down or two and move on? Look at the focus of both of those players, Scott.
Murray goes to Barkley, and another stop by Henry, and all of a sudden, here comes third down, 3rd and 9.
Is the biggest play of the game that we've seen thus far. Who's going to clutch up? Is it going to be the New Jersey native Joke or the young one from Chicago?
And there's the timeout. Joke says whatever, but Henry's going to get another chance. It feels like he's got opportunity after opportunity to get back in the game, and here's the ultimate one. Boots it away. Dante can't get over there. Takes it on a hop, though.
Come on.
Big return. And forced out of bounds at the 44. He's got plenty of time and one timeout, RG.
I mean, mistakes by Joke. Letting it go on special teams right there. The human joystick gets a big punt return. And I can't help but think about that 52 seconds that Joke left Henry with. You know what I'm saying, in the third quarter. Because if you minus 52 seconds right now from that 145, it's almost an impossible task for Henry. Now he's got 145, one timeout, and all the offensive firepower in the world to get this done. The question is, will he?
Murray gets it outside. Hall runs away from Surtain and then gets out of bounds at the 33. How about that?
That's what you have to do if you're Henry. Joke's going to protect that Hollywood Brown deep ball. It's going to open things up for Dante Hall, but as this field shortens and he gets closer to that red zone, those windows are going to get a lot tighter.
Henry down by a touchdown. Ball at the 33. 1:40 to go. One of these guys is going to be moving on to the semifinal just a few hours from now. Murray, quick throw, and Steve Largent doing Largent things right at the 21-yard line.
Beautiful, beautiful read from Henry. He sees the corner pressed up. That tells you one thing, he's probably in deep zone. So I'm going to throw a deep dig, throw it on the cut. That was a beautiful play by Hen.
Uses his legs, and now he's all the way down to the 9-yard line. Still has a timeout, 1st and goal.
If you're Joke, you need to start considering maybe using some timeouts so you give yourself a chance to have some time if Henry would be able to score.
Murray, one more time here for Henry. Throws it into the end zone, and Casper had it for a moment.
That's what he just threw, a game-losing pick.
The big fella had him boxed out. It was a risky throw.
We've seen Casper make plays. Henry, you know, gave him a chance. Game of inches, 42 seconds, Scott. This is what it's about.
2nd and goal now. Still does have that one timeout in his back pocket. Murray, he's going to use his legs, and he could have walked in. I know you don't want to fumble, so he slides down at the 6, clock's on the move.
Yeah, it's ticking, Scott. He doesn't have a whole lot of time.
Here comes the runoff. Takes him to 20 seconds left in the ball game. 3rd and goal. Murray, he's going to run it again. And now you got to use a timeout and come up with your best play. He's going to use this extra time to think about the play he's going to run, then he's going to call timeout. And he's going to have to draw something up. It's going to be 4th and goal from the 5. 3 seconds remaining in the game. It's either overtime or Joke's moving on.
Would you expect anything else or less from the 1 and 2 players in the MCS circuit for it to come down to the final play with 3 seconds left?
Here we go. 4th down. Final chance here for Henry. What has the youngster got? Murray got to rim it quick, and Dante can't get there.
Let's go.
Joke's going to win the ball game.
What a ball game, and look at the show of respect. These guys have talked trash to each other earlier in the year, but now there is that mutual respect, a lot of love, 2 elite players, and Henry almost wiggled his way up that sideline and turned it into something. But boy, that's what the MCS is all about, 2 class acts, 2 elite players. And now Rydell Brito continues his quest for the first belt. He's been here before. Will this be the time he gets the job done?